Kalimera, welcome back to Zakynthos in Greece and Saving Sweet William. Last week we showed you how we built this pool. This week I was intending on showing you the full behind the scenes stuff and make quite a long video showing you the whole build process, the buying process and everything else involved. But right now in Greece we've got real problems with the internet at the moment, slow speeds. So what we're going to do is show you some things that have gone wrong, some things that you might want to consider that we didn't think about at the start if you're planning on doing something like this yourself. So hopefully you might be able to get one or two tips and avoid some of the mistakes that we made. Okay, welcome to the back of the villa. This is where all the utilities are coming in. Biggest problem that we had wasn't necessarily a mistake of ours, but the biggest problem we had is not realizing that in the summertime water to the villages out here, we're not in a tourist area, is rationed. So these are our two water tanks and they hold around 1,000 litres per tank. In the middle of July, the water over here comes on intermittently. We worked out that it's roughly once every other day. At the start of July, it was coming on for around 3 or 4 hours at 9 AM every other day. So that wasn't enough to get our tanks filled and get the pool filled. The pool holds around 6,000 litres, these hold around 2,000 litres, and 3 hours in which the water is on is not enough to fill these tanks up. So we spent just over a week here trying like crazy to make sure that we had enough water in the tanks to do what we needed to do indoors, wash dishes, wash ourselves, and fill the pool up. It was stressful and it didn't really work that well. If I had to do it all again, what I would have done is book one of these guys. They come to your house or even apartment. I've seen them take the hoses all the way up apartment buildings to fill water tanks at the top before. For around 70 euros, they'll fill both your water tanks and most of the swimming pool. So yeah, if you're doing anything like this and you live in any kind of village that has water rations, there's probably a system where you can get a water delivery. So that's a good thing to bear in mind and save yourself a lot of stress. So I'm just going to take you over into our water tank. So what I've been doing recently, we've got a lot of family over currently. The ball valve stops the water with still a lot of capacity in the tank. So, you know, I know you're not officially supposed to do this sort of thing, but you rest a plank of wood on there. It's enough pressure for the water to still keep coming out, and I've been filling it to just under the rim, just to make sure we don't run out of water, because you take it for granted, I think, when you live in the West, but running out of water is a big problem. So that's what I'm doing to try and avoid it. Okay, so if you saw the last video, you'll know that we didn't really have a massive budget to get this pool done. We just wanted to get something in so that people had a chance to cool off when it got really hot. It's been 37, 38 degrees over here every single day, sometimes higher. So we definitely needed a place to cool off. Right, the first problem that we started getting was water was getting splashed this way more than that way. And as the water splashed over the edge, over the course of a couple of days, the soil got saturated and this end of the swimming pool began to sink more than that. So we ended up with a deep end and a shallow end. We countered that by taking the edge apart of the swimming pool, digging out some ground underneath that end and trying to level it a bit more. It's going to need a concrete base and it's going to need some foam matting on top of that concrete, probably, because hard ground underneath isn't the most pleasant feeling when there are other options like putting foam underneath. So consider that, consider what you want to feel when you're walking around under the swimming pool. Okay, so this is the back end of the pool and this is where I keep the pump. So a little bit about this pump. I've got this INTEX Krystal clear filter pump. Model number is 638R. It's a perfect pump for this size pool. I'm not going to change the filter right now, but I'm going to show you how to. You release that valve, lets all of the water drain out of the pipes. you can hear the air gushing out. When the water starts draining out the pipes, you can undo this one, tug it up, whole thing comes out. So the guy who bought the swimming pool off said, instead of just taking these out, throwing them away each time, like they suggest. Hello, got a visitor. Come here, come say hello. Say hello. This is Lily. Oh, sorry Lily. I forgot she was really jumpy. This is Lily. She lives over the road. Looking for food, looking for breakfast probably. Just doing a video, Lily. Just doing a video. We're talking about filters. Instead of throwing these away each time, I leave them soaking in a bucket of water and then just give them a blast with the hose before you're going to reuse them, because you can reuse them a good few times before you have to throw them away. And that was the advice from the guy who sold me the pool, and it works. So anyway, when it is time to replace it, take that out, let it soak in a bucket of water, get another one, hose it off, just tip out the mucky gunk at the top, get your new filter back in, push it down, screw it back on. Okay, this bit's really important. You've got to make sure that there's no air in these pipes whatsoever, otherwise the filter won't work. The best way of doing that is to get it either level, when you put it back down on the floor, get it either level with the underside of the pool, or even slightly lower if you've got some sloping ground. So if I put it down here and leave this valve released, the pressure of the water pushes all of the air out, and when it's like this, you know there's no more air left in the system. So you can screw the air valve tight again, make sure everything's tight. Plug it back in, the filter starts working again. Now, according to the instructions, this filter pump cleans around 2,500 litres of water per hour. So in theory, a pool that holds around 5,700 litres of water, it should take around 2.5 hours for it to go through all of the water and clean it up. If you leave it on overnight, it's definitely going to get the water nice and clear, and that's what I've been doing, and leaving it on for most of the day, to be honest, because we've got people in and out all of the time at the moment. But definitely, if you leave it on overnight, it's going to go through all of the water, clean it up really well, and you're going to come out in the morning to a crystal clear pool, which is definitely what you want when the weather's like this. So one of the other big problems we've got around here is the amount of dust that we have. We've got this artificial grass at the moment, which is probably the last thing we'd have wanted to use, because we don't like plastic grass too much, but that's the best solution that we could get this year. Cheapest solution, best way of keeping the dust down. As you can see, there's literally dust everywhere here, so it always ends up in the pool. Looking forward to the day that we pave it, tile it, concrete it, whatever we do. But yeah, as you know, the main message of our channel is trying to get on with what you've got, still have a great time, even on a budget, keep moving forward, and enjoying your life as much as you can. Hopefully we'll be able to bring you the video that we plan to do this week, next week. But for now, thank you for watching. Saving Sweet William. As always, thank you so much for your support. Your subscribes, your likes and your shares are greatly appreciated. Hope to see you guys again very, very soon.